Hi, this is Danny from DannysDesigns.com, and today I wanted to show you this box that I designed. You open it up and inside you'll see I have 4 of the Ferrero Rocher chocolates. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, not really sure. But this little box was made, the base is out of baked brown sugar. The designer series paper I used is the Lullaby designer series paper, and the thanks so much sentiment came from the BYOP, or the Buy Your Own Present stamp set from the Occasions catalog. Now I designed this project because I got this big old box of chocolates, and rather than eating it all myself, I decided I should probably divvy it up and give it out as gifts. The end of the school year is coming up. My kids have several teachers that I can give these to, teachers' aides, things like that. So instead of giving this either as one gift to one person, I designed the box so there's 4 in each box, and that way I can get a dozen out of this whole box of chocolates. To start with, I went ahead and changed it up. This time, instead of using the Lullaby designer series paper, I'm using the Painted Blooms designer series paper. So I chose a color cardstock that coordinates with that, and this is Blackberry Bliss. It measures 9 1/4 by 5 1/4, and of course you're going to need your scoring tool to score. And with the 9 1/4 inch side going across the top, you want to score it at 1 1/4, 4 inches, 5 1/4, and 8 inches. Rotate it 90 degrees, and with the 5 1/4 inch side going across the top, again score it at 1 1/4 and 4 inches. Find it's easier to fold and burnish on all the score lines before you do all the cutting. So using your bone folder, just go over all those lines and crease them really well. Okay. Now taking my scissors, I'm going to cut on all 4 of these score lines. Start on the edge and end at that score line. And then flip it over, either way. Doesn't matter which side is up, and do it on the other side. Okay, now without cutting these longer rectangle tabs, we want to notch each one of these 6 smaller squares. And the reason why you want to cut a little notch, this is the sample box that I made when I was trying to get all my measurements straight. And if you look right here, you'll see that when I adhered this tab in place, it lined up perfectly. But this tab, it tends to stick out a little bit. Let's see if you can see that a little bit better at that angle. But it sticks up right there, and I want nice clean lines on here. So that's why it's really important to notch. So you can either you can fold this under if it's a little bit easier for you, but on each one of these, you're just going to cut a small triangle that ends right at that score line. And that'll just help get the nice crisp edges that you want on your box. Flip it over to the other side as well. All right, once you're done and we have the box like this, I think it's easiest to decorate it when it's still flat. So to decorate the top, for this I'm using a piece of rose red cardstock. This measures 2 5/8 inch square. I have a piece of the Painted Blooms designer series paper. This is 2 1/2 inches square. And for the 4 sides, you're going to need 4 pieces of rose red cardstock. This measures 1 1/8 by 2 5/8, and you're going to need 4 of the pieces of the designer series paper. This measures 1 inch by 2 1/2 inches. So get your adhesive, and we're going to put these together. Adhere that. Put some adhesive on the back. It doesn't matter which side you choose, they're both the same measurements, but you want to turn it. You see that mine has an up and down, and I want the flowers going that way, so you turn it sideways and I want the flowers facing that way so that it's the front of my box and the flowers are oriented correctly. Okay, so now it's time to put all the adhesive on the back of these Designer Series pieces. Oops. Okay. And these should just center right in the middle of the rose red cardstock. So I'm going to stick together today. Okay, and then add adhesive to the back of this, and we're going to attach these to the box as well. Okay, just like the center of the box, these flowers do have a up and a down. The upside you want pointing towards the center panel on all 4 of these pieces. That way when the box is put together, your flowers are all pointing in the direction that you want them. So top to this, pointing to the center. And the last one goes right here. Okay, so this is the top of our box, that's the bottom. Now we're going to put fast fuse on all 6 of these little tabs. Let's see. Whoops. So now you want to start with the bottom, and you're going to attach these 4 panels to the inside of the bottom layer. So tuck that in and press it together. And you see that as we're doing that, you can't see those tabs sticking up over the edge at all. Tuck this one in, adhere that to the bottom. Go, and then these 2 tabs attached to the inside of the lid. Okay, now we have nice clean edges everywhere. Going to add some chocolates here. Put them all in there. Close the lid, and now it's time to decorate the top. Okay, for that I have a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this time I'm going to be using the Mother's Love stamp set from the Occasions Mini Catalog. I wanted to use the For You. Have that mounted on a clear block, and I've got my rose red ink pad. Ink that up. Stamp it. And I have my extra large oval punch, and for this one I want to put the For You over to the right side as much as I can and punch it out. I also have a scrap of Blackberry Bliss cardstock, and I want to use a decorative label punch and punch some of those out. And then I also have this little teeny flower from the, I think, Itty Bitty Accents punch pack. And I want to punch one out of Blackberry Bliss, one out of Rose Red, and another one out of Blushing Bride. These are all colors that coordinate with the Painted Blooms Designer Series paper. So I'm going to take some adhesive and attach this to the very center of the decorative label. Okay, I'm going to take my little flowers that I just punched out, and I'm going to use my piercing mat Set those on there. Use the back end of my piercing tool and just press them in so it pops the petals out. Okay. And then I have my Brights candy dots. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of those and press them into the center of the flower. Okay. Then flip these over. And I'm going to use glue dots to attach these to my label. So, put that on there. Oops. That one didn't want to stick. Put one up here. One down here. Those petals wanted to flatten out, so feel free to pull them up if you'd like. It's really hard to do it with my nails, but give it a try there. Okay, flip this over, and on the back sorry about that, my camera just decided to shut off. So now that I have my rhinestones on there, the box is finished. Bring this one back in here for you to look at. Now I'll have all of these projects posted with pictures on my website. You can find the link below in the description bar. Feel free to hop on over to my website, take a look. I'll have the measurements there as well. If you'd like to buy any of these supplies to make this project yourself, I'll have links there as well with a list of all the supplies that I've used. Go ahead, give it a look, and if you like what you see on my channel, feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel as well. Thanks so much for stopping by.